U.S. Office of Personnel Management data breach, no routine hack. This case study talks about the data breach targeting records of as many as 4 million people at the U.S. Office of Personnel Management. Information targeted in the breach included personal information such as social security numbers, names, addresses, dates, and places of birth. There was security clearance background information taken as well. The case study talks about the management, organization, and technology factors that contributed to this breach. Listen to describe the security and control weaknesses at OPM that are discussed in this case. The absence of mechanisms to detect outside intrusion and adequate encryption of sensitive data was OPM's biggest problem. Their technology was outdated and they did not maintain inventory of their systems and baseline configurations. They had 11 servers operating that did not have valid authorization. OPM's monthly automated vulnerability scanning program for all of their servers could not be verified by auditors. OPM didn't have a security specialist overseeing the network. OPM had inadequate monitoring of multiple systems, many unpatched computers, and decentralized and ineffective cybersecurity function. They had sensitive data unencrypted and stored in old database systems that were vulnerable. What management, organization, and technology factors contributed to these problems? OPM had weak management. They didn't have security-oriented leadership. OPM didn't have a senior information security specialist or chief information security officer responsible for network security. OPM had not finished implementing new security procedures that restricted remote access for network administrators, and they had not reviewed all internet connections to the outside world before the breach happened. OPM had been warned multiple times of security vulnerabilities and failings. OPM used contractors in China to manage some of its database. There were deficiencies in OPM's information system security program. The absence of mechanisms to detect outside intrusion and adequate encryption of sensitive data was the biggest problem. OPM had outdated technology. Sensitive data was not only unencrypted but stored in old database systems that were vulnerable. What was the impact of the OPM hack? The OPM hack was the most massive data breach in U.S. history. The biggest prize the hackers took was more than 20 years of background check data that is on a 127-page form. This questionnaire includes information about family members, college roommates, foreign contacts, and psychological information. OPM systems contained information related to background investigations of current, former, and prospective federal government employees, including U.S. military personnel. Exposure of security clearance information could pose a problem for years. The stolen data also included 5.6 million sets of fingerprints. This could compromise secret agents even if they change their names. Is there a solution to this problem? There has been a massive effort to rectify years of poor IT management. OPM is moving toward more centralized management of security. OPM hired a cybersecurity advisor and increased its IT modernization budget. Computer security failure remains across agencies, even though the government has spent at least $65 billion on security since 2006. A year later, a new OPM director was hired. OPM now requires employees to use a password and secure card to log on to their computers. Employees can't access their Gmail accounts from their office computers anymore. OPM has implemented new tools to detect malware. What is the U.S. Office of Personnel Management, OPM, responsible for? The U.S. Office of Personnel Management is responsible for recruiting and retaining a world-class workforce to serve the American people, and is also responsible for background investigations on prospective employees and security clearances. How many pages is the Standard Forms SF-86 questionnaire for national security positions, and what kind of information does it contain? The SF-86 questionnaire for national security positions is 127 pages. It contains information about family members, college roommates, foreign contacts, and psychological information. In conclusion, OPM mismanagement of cybersecurity measures and implementation played a significant role in the data breach. Government officials have pointed to China as being held behind the breach. The Chinese officials have denied involvement in the breach. The attackers used credentials from contractor Keypoint Government Solutions to gain access to OPM networks. They planted malware and established a backdoor for going through data. Many lessons have been learned from the hack. OPM gave employees free credit monitoring for 18 months to make sure their identities had not been stolen. OPM put some people and tools in place to detect malware.